Welcome back, you guys. I'm Paige.
And I'm Cyndi.
And this
is Mom's the Word. Where Mom knows best.
Or at least she's trying her best.
Oh my goodness.
We're back at it again, friend.
So first of all, I just want to do a huge shout out because we have over 2,000 listeners.
We have over 2,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh my goodness.
We have 20,000 listeners. We have 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, though. So if you're listening on Apple and Spotify and you didn't realize that we have a YouTube version, we do indeed.
We do.
With fancy cameras that Ben provides us.
It is so beautiful. So if you haven't checked out our YouTube yet, go ahead because you'll get to see exactly what we're looking like while we're shooting in our awesome
pajamas.
Halloween set here at the Museum of Neon Lights. We're really excited to be here.
Absolutely beautiful. We do wear pajamas.
We do.
Every time.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable like
Same.
this. I don't want to be in jeans sitting down and I'm going to have to pull them all the way up to here. You know
literally.
What I mean? Just
You're
so that I can
uncomfortable.
comfortably sit, and then I'm trying to get a t-shirt that looks good too.
And being behind the lights when it's all hot. No,
It is hot, y'all. It is hot in here. They give us movie lights so that we look beautiful for you. How's everybody doing?
You know, I'm still in the thick of newborn stage.
Yeah.
But also with a almost toddler now and a kid. It's just wild. I'm
you're superwoman.
Exhausted, but thriving, right?
Yeah.
It's just so fun to be in. I'm getting used to the newborn schedule finally. And,
yeah.
It's been a couple weeks now, so I feel really good about that. How are you? Your baby's coming out of the newborn stage almost, right?
Yeah, she's almost 7 months now.
That's insane.
It's blows my mind actually because I feel like I just had her, as well as I still feel so fresh in my postpartum journey too.
Yes.
So it's wow, it's kind of weird to balance both of them, to feel like I just had a baby, but then you look at this baby and you're like, you're about to be one. You're closer to one than you are to the day you were born.
All the emotions. And I hear I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard that your postpartum will hold on for till she's 2.
I fucking hope not.
Which is insane. I think it is. Moms are continuously going through a postpartum until their child is about 2 years old. And you're a breastfeeding mom, so that could last even longer.
Yay. No, I mean, it's a lot. It is a lot. And you try not to blame everything on the hormones, right? You try to be no, I'm a normal person. I'm not feeling these things because of this. And then God forbid your husband brings it up. My poor husband. If he's like, honey, are you just, feeling a little overwhelmed today with the hormones? I'll be like, it's not the hormones.
I'll call Paige and I'm like, are you okay?
I'm always in the bath.
She's always in the bath. And I'm like, all right, please tell me you're not crying right now. But crying is good. So I'm like, go ahead and cry. She'd be crying.
I'd be crying a lot.
I should probably cry.
Let it out.
I'm not very good at it.
Let it go.
I've had a lot of emotional things going on lately.
You do.
And I should cry more. I've been really emotional, but I don't share that side of me because a lot of things I can't share yet.
Yeah.
But I have some huge news that I get to share.
Are you excited? Are you ready to say it right now?
I'm very excited.
You're going to say it? Okay, y'all. I don't think you understand how huge this news is. So everybody just drum roll, please.
I'm very excited to announce that we are adopting.
We're adopting.
We're adopting.
Sugar baby is staying.
So it's been a very emotional journey for me because, as you know, and people who follow me know, I really pour into reunification and, them going back to their family. But there comes a time that that's not an option.
Yeah.
And so, of course, we're going to say yes and get to love him forever. So here's the first time probably people are hearing this, that his name will be Fox. And so we're excited. We have Bear, who's 7, my biological son, and then we have Fox. Now, those are not their names, their real names, but, they like nicknames.
That's what you feel comfortable sharing.
Yeah. And Fox, people are going to ask, how'd you get that name? So Bear, actually, when we had him as a newborn, of course, behind the scenes, we do call them by their real names. They're beautiful. But Bear was like, I'm Bear, and he can be Fox. And so it just caught on. And we knew about 6 months in that we were moving towards adoption.
Right.
And so we kind of transitioned to calling Fox, still Sugar Baby on the internet. But I'm just very excited to share that with you guys. And it's been really emotional. I've been afraid to share it because I really respect their family, his family, biological families, and I wanted to do it the right way. But just know that this is the way that it needs to be, and it's going to be beautiful. And I can't wait to still respect his family throughout this and whatnot. But absolutely. I'm excited to share that.
That's so exciting. And this is your first adoption.
It is.
From your foster care journey.
Yes.
Because I know you guys are a foster to adopt family, which basically means if it's not an option to be reunified, that you would say yes.
Right, because you never go into foster care thinking we're adopting. You just don't.
Right, that's not the right reason. There are people who do that, but it's not the right reason.
Yes, yeah. So when we went into it, we thought we already have Bear, our biological son. We just have the means and the love and the home that we could take care of more children. So we're like, let's be foster parents. It was on our heart. And let's support these families. And we have happily sent home over 10 kiddos, either, kinship, family, back to biological parents, things like that, to better situations. And I'm very proud of that. Yeah. So for this to be our 13th child and we are adopting, I'm honored. I'm honored to be his mom forever now.
Yeah. So. And I don't think you even said, I know you just said, we knew in month 6 that that's where we were going.
Yeah.
I don't think you even switched, because now this is month 11?
Yes.
So she's known and had to keep this a secret for the last 5 months.
Yes.
And I don't honestly think that until about 3 weeks ago, when you got the calls for like official papers, that you even switched into, this is my child.
No.
I didn't see that at all from you.
As a foster parent, me specifically, I can speak for myself, I pour into them like they are my children no matter what. But in my heart, I know they're going home. Right. That's what I want to believe. That is the goal. And so until the final paperwork is signed, they could be going home, and that's okay, because that's their, their family. And so it's hard for me to switch that gear, because all of ours have gone home. And so, when we got about 6 months, things took a turn, and we knew that it was moving towards adoption. That's when we started to really think okay, this could happen. And it was really emotional for me over these last couple of months, because I was sad. I was happy, of course, that he gets to stay with me. I've had him since he was born, but I was sad because somebody else is going to miss out on that. And they had missed out on all of it.
Absolutely.
All of it. And
That's
so
sad.
It is very sad. It's one of those things that happiness, but there's a lot of sadness behind it.
Of course. It's they say, bittersweet.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So getting into what you're comfortable sharing with your journey with Fox, when was he placed with you?
Yeah, so I'm going to share what I can. Now, this is my journey as a foster parent. I will never share Fox's journey until we adopt him, and then, he is a Hoffer. But so we we received Fox straight from the hospital when he was 2 days old.
Okay.
It was in December around Christmas time, and he was this itty bitty guy, and he was sweet as can be. And now we've had him 11 months. And so that's always in the beginning is very hard. You get this baby from the hospital, and they come with trauma no matter what, and you have to go through that stages with him. But it was just so sweet. I've had 6 newborns, and so getting him was just another newborn that I got to love on, and hopefully he would have connections to his family and things like that. And this time it just wasn't possible for some things to happen. Things are out of my control,
right?
And so it quickly moved towards adoption, which was very surprising for me.
Right. It was very abrupt.
Very. It always is, because usually we're actively working towards helping the family, giving them resources, being a support. And this time it was very quiet. So that was very interesting for me, because usually it's never like that.
It's not been like your other experiences.
No. And I can't go into depth as to how, but just know that this is the quietest case that I've ever had.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
It's a good place for a break for a moment, just to regather thoughts. Just because I have to be very careful with what I ask.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to overstep boundaries.
Yes.
Too,
Yes.
Let's make sure we're holding our mic in front of our mouths.
I will when I'm ready.
The microphone.
I'm gonna eat this fucking mic.
No, just talk. Just talk into it. Just talk.
It's a sensitive topic.
Yeah.
Right? Adoption is a sensitive topic, because there are different ways to go about adopting, right? And for us, we adopted through foster care. We did not want to go through a private agency. And I know some people do. I respect their decisions. But for us, we wanted to take a child in who needed a family, who needed a family when theirs needed help.
Yeah.
And it's so sad that I've seen so many families, have their children removed. But it's been a beautiful thing, because I've seen them come out of it. And so this has been different for us. We've always had our foster to adopt license. We just never knew if we were ever going to use it. But we wanted to be that option. So here in the state of Texas, guardianship is not an option. So what that means is that, let's say there's a child who comes to that point of adoption, and you could say, well, I would just rather be their guardian. So, and I'm not sure for teens, I don't have teens, but for littles, it's not an option here. So it's adoption. or they sit in the system. And so it's either whoever the child that you have in your home, you adopt them, or they're going to find an adoptive home. Mm-hmm. And so when that decision got brought to us, hey, would you guys like to adopt? Of course we would.
Right.
We are the only family that he knows.
Did y'all have any second thoughts?
Never.
Not at all.
Not at all.
It wasn't even a thought in your mind to be like,
he is beautiful, and he
is beautiful. He's a cutie.
Yes. And so there was no second thoughts for us. I was sad for his family and things like that. But for us, we knew that we had been his, whole family for the whole of his life. He didn't know anybody else, so I feel very, like, our decision as a family, it just felt very easy for us. We didn't have to question it at all.
Do you feel nervous about how you'll explain his parents in this situation of how he came to be part of your family as he gets older? Have you and Chris talked about that?
Yeah, so we've actually talked about it multiple times because it's something that we talk to Bear a lot about, our biological son, saying what adoption is, what it looks like, what it could look like in 16 years, and we are going to open every possible door that we can for him. Mm-hmm. First of all, from the get-go, he's going to know that he's adopted and what that means to us, what that means to the community around us, and we're going to respect that for the rest of his life. And when he answers questions, we're going to be honest with him.
Right.
And one day, when we know he will want to meet his family, we're going to do that for sure. And we don't know when that will be, but that door is always open for that to happen because we just want to respect that family as well because, we hopefully want them to love on him as well. Because the more people that love on him, the better, right?
A kid can't have too much
love. Exactly. And so we have boundaries set up right now, but we hope that we can have a beautiful relationship one day and respect him as an adopted child because he already came with trauma. And so we're going to be working the rest of our life pouring into him and respecting him and just respecting the people around us who are helping us because it's a lot for a child to be adopted.
Yeah.
It is. And even though he's a little, he doesn't know any different right now. In his heart, there's something,
He'll grow to learn.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're going to be really honest with him. Just like Bear, people always ask me, like, how does Bear deal with it? We're very honest. We tell them why they're here, not whole everything because some things are very traumatic, but we explain it. Like, these are their bio parents, like, And so we're going to do the same thing with Fox. And I'm excited to learn. I've learned a lot, especially on TikTok from a lot of adoptive parents. Adoptee TikTok have taught me so much, and I cannot wait to respect Fox in the way that I have learned from so many people. But I'm honored to be his mama. I can't even.
I'm so excited for
you.
How excited is Bear?
Oh, so excited. So Bear always knows the kids are going home, right? So when we told him finally, like, Fox is staying,
right?
He literally like transitioned to like, this is my brother, and I know you have.
Yes.
Yeah, he's just so sweet. Like he just took on that role. He does for all kids, but when we said he's staying with us forever, it like flipped a switch. Because Bear's the best big brother. Like, he was involved with all of the kids. But as soon as I said he's staying forever, it was like, forever?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be with him forever. And I'm like, yes.
This is different.
He's a Hoffer. And so now he'll say like, the Hoffer boys. And I'm like, oh my God.
Hashtag boy mom.
It's so sweet.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. And you've met Fox.
I have.
And so
that's my Foxy baby.
Yes, we call him Foxy boy, Foxy baby. And so Paige just got to enjoy him for quite a while. I think you met him when he was like little, 3 months or something.
Oh my gosh.
Could have been before that.
It was before that.
Yeah.
We ran into each other at HEB the week that you had him placed.
That's
remember?
right.
He was in the car seat.
Yeah.
I just peeked.
And he
I did the same thing with Itty Bitty.
Little 6-pound baby.
Yeah, just looking at him. Just, hello. I see you from here. You know?
And he's just, I can't, like, it's scary to try to share your children, but it's like he's a joy. He's beautiful. He's happy. Like, oh my goodness.
He smiles all the time.
He's the smiliest
He's the most smiliest little baby ever. And he just has these like sweet little eyes. And he looks at you all sweet and bats his eyes at you.
I'm getting emotional.
He's so cute. He's absolutely precious. And when you sent me your pictures for how you're going to announce.
Yeah.
It's killing me. I'm so excited because we're shooting this weeks before you guys. Technically, you haven't even officially legally adopted him.
No, so yeah,
when we air it, you will have.
Yes.
The court date is set.
Yes.
We're just a few weeks away.
So when you're watching this, we are a week out from adopting. And so as you're watching this now, we adopted yesterday. So that's so exciting.
And I get to go.
Yes. So we have to invite people, and we want people who have been in our village for the get-go. And we're really excited for that. I don't know what to expect, but I am very excited.
Yeah. What do you expect? I mean,
I've heard.
My question is, does the caseworker come, like CPS caseworker?
So I don't have a CPS caseworker anymore. I have a CPS adoption worker. So basically, you have a CPS caseworker, and then when the rights get terminated, it switches to an adoption placement. So you'll get an adoption worker, basically.
Is there a time limit on when they do the termination of a parental rights?
So if it just depends on every case.
Okay.
But there's a big court date at the 6-month mark.
Okay.
And then that's a huge, like, you'll see where the family's at, what services they've done. You'll get kind of an idea of where you're at. And so there's court dates like every couple of months. And so like by the time we got to the 6-month mark, we knew that was going to be, the termination.
Right.
But no, sometimes there's not. We've gone, my last kids that went home, I had them 18 months. And so it just depends on how parents are working services and things like that.
Yeah. Do you have to go to every court date?
We don't. We're invited to go. As for me, it's kind of hard because I'm a stay-at-home mom, and so I usually can't take them. You can't take the kids. And in the beginning, they're pretty quick, like literally 10 minutes, 5 minutes, getting the parents in order and things like that.
Right.
Now, as it goes on, that 6-month one, you start to go. I
Really?
would start to go because then you're going to hear like what the plan is moving forward. What have the parents done? How could I support these parents? Like, I'm going to get that idea at that point. And then I go after that. So like my last kids, a lot of people were watching me. I was going like every 2 weeks to a court date. You were with me through that. That was very emotional. But I had to be there because I needed to hear what was going on because I was trying to support the family.
Ah, yes. I remember this.
Yeah. So it just depends. Every case is different. Literally, people always ask me how long. Like, you could literally have a kid a couple days to 2 years, 3 years. I've had people who've had kids for 3 years that are still in care.
And then get reunified, potentially?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's nice to know that there is.
Yes, there are so many circumstances as to things happens. Life is hard, and a parent can have a house one day and lose the house the next, and so that pushes them back. But they're still being great parents.
Right.
It's just something that holds them back.
Right. I've also heard, and I don't know because I'm not part of this system, but I've had a couple messages where people have said, I love Cyndi's side of things, but there are families that get placed back that shouldn't have been placed back, and the state fails them in that sense. Yeah. Have you ever been in a position where you felt like that was happening to you?
Oh, goodness. So it's hard because not every parent's going to be perfect, right? There's no cookie cutter parent.
I'm not perfect.
Some people look at me and they think, these kids should be with her. She has a home. They're financially stable. Their family is beautiful. But that doesn't matter. Right. Their family could live, in a simpler lifestyle than I do. But because it doesn't look like mine, people are comparing them. Yes. But that family is just as perfect for them as I would be. Yeah. Or better, because that's their biological family. Right. And so I have had situations where I feel uneasy. Of course, I've taken care of kids for over a year, but you have to believe that that parent's going to, give their child all they need. Yeah. Like, I've had kids for a year. That parent hasn't been able to be a full-time parent for a year. So yeah, it's scary, but you just have to believe they will. I've had circumstances where I believe they still have learning to do, but hopefully we can stay connected and I can help them through that, or they can, have family members that will help them. But it's hard. I have kids a long time, and of course I'm scared because, you want to protect them. And I heard why they got removed. Right. And sending them back is sometimes very hard. But I have to believe that their parents want to be great parents. And I know a lot of them, and they do. They do want to be great parents. They just haven't had the opportunity to. Right. But it is a scary situation. My emotions are always all over the place.
Right. I do think I know the answer to this, but speaking on and touching on like feeling uneasy in those, have you ever been asked by the state what your opinion is on a child and if you think if they should go back into their home?
Yeah. So towards I wouldn't say the end of the case, but there's always talks. So the kids have a CASA worker who represents the child. They also have a guardian ad litem who represents the child, their lawyer. And they always ask you, how are they after visits? What does it look like, when they're with their family? Are they the same with you? Are they with their family? Like they're asking those questions because they want to know, is that kid thriving in that environment? And when they're there for an hour, how are they coming home? Are they distraught? Are they,
That's such a telling thing. My stepmom, she always said we would see it, and she could pull out my folders to this day from like whenever I was in kindergarten or so on the weekends that my mom would show that next week at school.
Yes.
For like the first 3 days, I would be like defiant or talking out or just not my usual self because my routine had been interrupted. Yep. And so I would, push the buttons that I thought I could push and then kind of get back into gear. So I'm sure that's very
behavior
telling.
says everything.
Yeah.
Even with an infant,
Really?
Like
what are some of the things you think you'd see with an infant?
So, for instance, like, I've had babies, and so it's hard with the newborns. They don't know, but as soon as they're like 5 months, they know, right? So you hand them over. Of course, it's scary. They're crying, but it's can the parent soothe them while they're there? Are they changing their diaper while they're there? And when they give them back to me, what they're looking for is like, are they updating me? Like, hey, I changed her diaper one time. She ate this much ounces. Right. And then you're looking for after that, how is the baby? Is the baby restless at night all the time? Are they having a hard time going to sleep at night? Are they whining? Are they clingy? I've had kids after visits just want to sit on me and hold and sit. We'd sit for like hours.
Just need some
comfort. And it would take 2 days for them to get back into the routine because it's hard being stripped from your parent the first time. And then every week seeing them, okay, you're going back. And so it's a gradual thing. And as the parents, when the kids see their parents, it's supposed to be a positive thing. So they're watching. And so that's why I try to pour in, like, I give the parent updates, they give me updates. Like, hey, this week your child did this. And that way the transitions get easier as the weeks go on. So they know that I drop them off, I pick them up, but gradually we're going home.
Right.
And so that's why I build a relationship with the family because I want that child to know, like, hey, me and your mom, we're friends and we're in this together. We both love you.
Yeah. And I think you also want that mom to know, I'm not trying to take your baby.
Yes. Because I've had that before where automatically they're just like, oh, this foster parent. No, ma'am.
Right.
I want you to have your baby back because I could not imagine that feeling. And that's why when I get a baby, I'm like, my emotions are wild because I could never imagine. And
absolutely.
So once that mom figures out, like, no, she's not trying to take my kids from me. Like, I'm sending pictures, updates every week. I'm telling them, hey, your child rolled over with me. That's so exciting. See if they can do it with you, sending pictures. And once we get to a safe point, I like to give my phone number and we text and I'll send like, hey, we had a doctor appointment today.
How do you communicate?
Yeah, so in the beginning we cannot. So it just depends on your worker when they believe that it's a safe environment because they also want to make sure you're protected. I have children. And so we wait until it's a safe time. Sometimes it's soon, sometimes it's 3 months, sometimes it's 6 months. And then I ask, can I have their phone number? And I send pictures every day. I send updates every day.
That's
and
really
then
nice.
Things that they can do. And it just opens the door up, especially because then you transition from 1 hour visits to overnight visits and you want to be very included in that.
Right. So, involved.
Yeah. I don't know. It's every case is different. So it's been a journey. And so that's why when I say Fox's case has been the quietest it has. And yeah, but now we have, another child placed with us and it's going to be different too. It's going to be different too. So
absolutely. A little bitty baby.
She's bigger though.
Yeah, she is getting bigger. Well, she was like 4 pounds whenever she came to you. Like she looked small even in preemie clothes. Little baby clothes, little baby doll clothes.
Yes. But
what's been your favorite part about this journey of being a foster parent? Now that you are a foster to adopt family, does it feel like that's the favorite part? Or do you feel like just loving all these babies?
Yeah. So, obviously adopting Fox is definitely a highlight now. But no, I think that loving so many babies, I feel called to be a mom and pour into these children because I just feel like I have the patience, the love, the, everything I can give to them. And so my favorite thing has been watching them grow, like getting them so little and then getting to be there for milestones because they're important to their families and I appreciate them. Like those milestones that they have to miss and then sharing them with their biological family. And some of the best moments I've had are sharing moments with their family, like birthday parties together. And now being included in like text messages like, hey, look how good they're doing. They started preschool. Like that is so awesome.
Wonderful.
And to think like I had this child who came into my home, like, sad. And now look at them back with their mom. And like, it's so exciting. And Christmas time, we give like gifts to them. And it's just like something that's like so awesome to see is that they're thriving after and the parents are thriving after. But being a parent in general is just like my favorite thing. And it's hard. Like, like I have a newborn and now it's definitely hard. But I feel like seeing them grow up and just like, I don't know, I get to be a part of those things is really, really, really amazing for me and for my husband because, he's such a great dad.
Yeah, he is. He's a great dad.
Yeah.
He absolutely
He's
is.
very patient.
Yes. And you've said this before, but if you go into foster care, you're going in it as a partnership. Like your husband has to be 100% on board as well.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people ask me, like, what's your advice for new foster parents?
That was about to be my question.
Make sure you're both 100.
Yeah.
Because, like, as a mom, sometimes moms do, yearn to take care of children. And it's just like, it comes second nature to some of us, not all of us, but it comes second nature to us. And so I can say yes to so many kids, right?
Oh, yeah, me too.
But if your husband is not on board 100%, it's never going to work. You're going to burn out. You're going to feel like everything is on you because it's a lot. You're doing paperwork. You're dealing with trauma, emotions, all of the things. And so you need your partner to be 100% in it with you. And so, like, when a child comes into our home, I need my partner to love that baby like it's ours.
Yeah.
Not like, you're watching this child. No. No, we are raising this child together.
Right. For a period of their life.
Yes.
That they can never get back.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
someone's
it's
whole
a
life
heavy thing.
in our hands. Exactly. And being able to respect the people around that child as well, because that's important. Because it's scary. A lot of people hear about like foster parenting, and it's scary. Like, oh my God, I'd be scared to see the biological family at first.
Yeah, that's me.
Things.
I told you, I was like, I don't know if I could go to court.
Yes. And it's a scary thing. You just never know. But you got to believe that they're not trying to hurt their child, right? They have the best interest. They might be mad, and they probably are. Their kid's probably mad as well. And things are very tense. But the well-being is of the child. And so if all of us can just be on the same page here, wherever the child's going to thrive. And that's the only thing that's important really to me. As long as you're pouring into that child, we will accept you to be here. And
I'm proud of you. And I'm so excited for you.
Oh, thank you.
I know that this was a long journey.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's been almost a year. And
Yeah.
it was emotional for you and heavy because it was very different than any other case that you've had. Just from what I know personally as somebody who's a very close friend of yours. Obviously, that's private information, all the details and such. But I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You really are an amazing human. And I think you're going to be a fantastic mom to Fox. I think he's in the right place.
Thank you.
Yeah, y'all were the right family to take him in that December night. I'll never forget those text messages when you were like, I'm getting a baby.
Yeah. Like I can't share much, right? So like, but I can share like, hey, we're getting a baby and he's itty bitty. And basically that's it. Even like now that I've adopted, I can't share much. What I'm sharing with you is what I can share. Yep. And so I'm very excited that we get to adopt Fox and he's part of our family. I cannot wait for you guys to meet him. If you're watching this today, you will know that I have posted on all my other social media platforms that we're excited to have another Hoffer, other than Hoffers.
Y'all, until last week, I thought Cindy's last name was Hoffers.
She literally did. She was like putting Hoffers on all of the things. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. So did Ben.
You did the first initial, the very first time. Look, he's about to chime in.
Where it says Cyndi Hoffers, them Hoffers.
Oh, did I put the answer? I probably put the answer while I was typing it out. It was like an automatic process.
And people might assume that. So like,
I did.
Because I checked. I checked on your social media. I was like, is it Hoffers or Hoffer? And I saw it was Hoffer. So I must have just spaced having to retype that.
That's all right.
Yeah.
My husband was the one that brought it up. Actually, the day before
guys,
Cindy
I've known
corrected
Paige
me.
3 years, you guys. What?
Hey, what's my maiden name?
Blasting game.
Dang.
What's mine? Yeah, she don't even know my real last name, and it's a part of my account.
I've heard it before. It's a part of your account.
My real no, Hoffers. I said you didn't even know how to spell my last name. No.
Oh, I was like, it's not online. I don't know, Cindy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know. My brain is mush right now. I'm not.
If I said it, you're gonna be like, yeah. It's super like Hispanic. My name is Cynthia Contreras.
I would have never guessed that.
Or say like Contreras.
Contreras? I would have said
Contreras.
Contreras. I like that a lot more.
Oh my goodness.
A lot more. Listen, I am part Puerto Rican. My Lita just did not teach me Spanish. She tried and I was 8, I'm sorry. I try. And everybody else in my family is as pale as they come. Okay? So,
a lot of people say that about me. They're like, she's white. And I'm like, I'm literally Mexican.
Why did you sound British?
Literally.
I'm literally Mexican.
No, but that's so funny.
She is, though, for real.
I am. My dad's Mexican. My mom was white.
Yes. Did you grow up with a lot of culture in your family though because of that? Does he have a large family that actually like celebrates and does like fun things? Your dad?
We actually don't have a large family. So my dad had a kind of a rough childhood, but he has been very wonderful about giving us some culture and things like that. We really respect Mexican heritage. I've always said I'm half Mexican. If you came to our home, you would know that. We celebrate Mexican traditions, making tamales, things like that.
You can make tamales?
Oh yeah, we make them every year.
Teach me how to make tamales. I love tamales.
Yeah. So it's just that people just see me and they just assume that I'm not. That's okay. I look white.
Yeah, I do too. It is what it is.
I hate to interrupt, but is this going to be part of the episode?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
She is Mexican.
She is Mexican. Will you send me a picture of your dad so I can answer when you say that? My dad is Mexican.
My dad's Mexican.
Yes, I will.
And then she says it in a British accent.
Yeah.
Contreras.
Contreras.
I wondered if like you had a big family with like lots of cousins and siblings and such because you seem like you want a big family.
Yeah, I do.
How many kids do you want?
Oh man, I like 5 or 6 kids. Yeah, I would love that.
I'm fourth and final.
She told me yesterday, she's like, "You're the kind of mom who wants to just sit on a farm churning butter with all your kids." I'm like,
No, yeah, literally.
no, I'm gonna go buy butter at HEB and then we'll sit on the farm.
Cyndi in my brain is one of those moms. What is that?
It's Jay.
Who is that? Hello?
Jay just prioritized his content over our podcast.
He's not filming. Jay.
Jay, if you don't shut the hell up.
Jay, quiet on set. Okay. Anyway.
Right.
He can hear you?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So anyways, I'm very excited to share. I was nervous to share. Paige knows that because, I am very respectful when I do share about foster care on the internet. I'm very respectful. And if you followed me for a while, you would look at my account and think, all those kids are hers. How would you even know? Except for I share Bear's face every once in a while.
Yeah.
But nobody usually knows until they're like, oh, she's a foster parent. And so I was afraid to share, but he's beautiful. And now.
I think you're afraid of all the backlash and such of people thinking you only took him in so that you could adopt him. Yeah. But that's just absolutely not who you are.
Right. No, so. and that is scary because like some people like assume like, oh, you adopted a baby, you can only take babies. But I had this discussion with Jay. He's an adoptive parent, and I get called for babies a lot because I've taken in babies a lot. So what happens is that my agency knows that I can handle newborns who are coming with different things.
Yeah.
There's a variety of things babies are taken from their parents from, but I can handle those traumas. I've done it now. I've had high risk children. I've had, all different kinds of things that the kids come with. I have dealt with. And so I get calls a lot because they know our home can handle a newborn baby.
Do you feel comfortable saying some of the things or reasons why a newborn would be removed?
No, I can say that. I can't say why mine have been removed, but so a lot of times that people should know and be aware of that is if a baby's getting removed from the hospital, there's usually 2 reasons. It's usually drugs. So the child is, having withdrawals, or the mom just was on something. Sometimes the baby doesn't have withdrawals, but there's that, or there's domestic violence and there's signs on the mother. So if the mom comes in, with bruises and things like that, they will ask her if she feels safe. And they even ask every mom. I got asked that. I'm probably sure you got asked that.
I did.
And sometimes she'll say her circumstances are not safe. And so what happens is they'll remove the child, which is sad because the mom would probably be a wonderful mom until she gets in better circumstances and can get away from that situation.
Does the state help her get into those positions?
They will. Sometimes they'll put her in like a women's home and things like that as much as they can, if she wants the help.
Sometimes they do.
Yeah, and then for those, it can go really quickly. That if they're working their services, she gets away from the situation. Within 6 months, the baby can go home. But those are the 2 big reasons. So drugs are a very sad thing that happens, and it's sad because sometimes moms don't know that they're pregnant, and things happen like that. They deliver premature, and then oh my God, so those are 2 huge reasons that babies usually get taken. Now if the baby's a little older and you're like, why did the baby get taken? It's either they found neglect, things like that, or the baby had been abused, and there's all kinds of situations, but mainly
you've seen it all.
I've seen it all. Yeah.
Does that take a toll on you?
Yeah.
I know we talked about this, about how you probably should talk to somebody.
Yeah, because I definitely accept the situation, and then my mind goes straight to like, let me protect this child. What do I need to do for their physical, emotional, spiritual well-being that can help this child come out of that situation? And so it's very emotional. And it does take a toll on me. And I say that I should probably talk to somebody, since I can't really tell people about what happens.
Yeah.
A therapist would probably be a perfect situation. And I should. I think about that because I kind of just like pack it on down, and gradually it's going to burst me.
Yeah.
And I did take the summer off from taking new placements because of that. I had children for 18 months. And my heart was I was emotionally drained. And so that's why we just opened back up and we have a newborn baby. But it definitely takes a toll on you, especially because you're keeping it in.
Well, and you're not hearing fun, exciting news.
No.
Like, it's really dark parts of humanity that you're like, oh,
yeah,
this is not
something that you'll hear is like, oh, CPS takes kids for invalid reasons. And I don't think you're wrong. CPS definitely fails a lot of children. I don't think you're wrong. But I can tell you every single child that I have had was a valid reason.
right.
And it's heartbreaking.
That's your personal experience so far.
As my personal experience, because I know definitely other people have had different situations where the child should not have been removed. But from my experience, all of them have been traumatic. All of them that child's been through more things than I've been through, and I'm a 30-year-old adult, and it's heartbreaking. So for me to be there, and I just feel like I have the mental capacity to keep taking it on, and that's sometimes really hard.
You have to take care of your mental health in order to feel that way still, though. You can't just shove it in the back and say, I can handle it, I can handle it, and just keep taking it. Just keep taking it.
Because somebody has to. And I just know that I feel that we're a good home for these kids. And so.
I know. And you are.
Paige, please talk into your mic.
Yeah. And so I keep saying yes because
You think you'd say yes again right now?
No.
Technically, you can't, can you?
So since I have a newborn, I always base it on how full my cup is, okay?
Yes.
So, like, Fox is a sweet baby, and he's sleeping through the night. And so I knew that I could open my home up to a newborn. So we open our home to 6 and under. So we just got called for a newborn. But I knew I could handle that.
Right. When they called you, you were like, okay, I can do this.
I can handle this. But if I couldn't, like if he was, a harder baby or whatnot, or he needed me more, then I would have not have. But right now, because I have such a little itty bitty newborn baby and I'm up every 3 hours, I could not take. I know my mind could not mentally take on another child. Now, next month, ask me again, and I'm probably going to tell you yes as soon as I am comfortable. But when you adopt, sometimes they want you to take a break. So I think that's what you're, saying. But
well, I was talking about the 3 rule you were telling me about. You can't have so many youngins.
So there's that was so funny. It made me laugh with Paige because I said that I can't have 3 under 1.
Yeah, I was like,
what that means is you can't have 3 babies under a year old. And so I have 2 babies under a year old right now. So technically I could take a toddler, but I mentally could not take it right now. Because there's a lot. Yeah, being a newborn mama is a lot.
There are certain people that are just built to be really fantastic parents of multiples. And then there are people like me.
No, Paige is such a great mama.
Doing a really great job with the ones I've got. But if or at least I'm trying.
No,
if I had,
so great.
Oh my gosh, if I took on any more though right now, I'd be too thin.
But and this is something that moms need to hear, that what I can take on and what you can take on can fill this. That's what you can take on.
Right.
And that's okay. Just because you see me do it easy with 4 kids doesn't mean you're doing less than. It just means that's what you can take on, and you're giving your all to that one child.
Yeah, because I've done that with you before. Yeah. Where I've been like, holy cow, she can take like 4 kids to the grocery store, has her wagon, has a list, is like Superwoman. And I'm like, will you please watch the baby so I can just go by myself for 30 minutes.
Every mom is different. You can hear moms who are struggling with just their one baby, and that's okay. What I can take on is because I've done it a long time now, and my motherhood has gotten a little bit better.
You're experienced. You're so experienced.
But even then, even though, because I believe you're also very experienced, you have 2 teenage boys, but
just in such different ways.
In different ways. What you can handle as a mother, everybody is different.
I feel like I got teens down from like 12 to 16. I've got it. Even 17. Me and my teenage boys, we have a good relationship. They tell me too much, to be totally honest with you. They're
so funny. The stories she tells
me my gosh,
are hilarious.
They're just teenage boys.
There's this story.
Oh God.
I feel like they should share because it's so cute.
Oh Lord.
the one with the Riz that you got.
Oh yeah. So do y'all know I've got the Riz?
Do y'all know what the Riz is? Because I didn't know.
Have you ever heard of the Riz? I didn't realize it, but apparently I've got the Riz. So my son has a girlfriend, and occasionally he will come to me for advice on different situations. And he just was on Snapchat, and I was like, why don't you send her a picture? Like, send her a mirror selfie. Yeah. Like, teaching my 16-year-old how to take a mirror selfie is an interesting experience. Yeah. But he was like, I guess she saved it. And he was like, yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Just like, so, it's like a win. Well, then he's on the football bus on the way down to, I love you, but get smoked by this other team. My God, they took out like 4 of our players. Like, one of them got sent to the hospital for a broken collarbone. The other one had darn near concussion. Vance played the whole game, and I was like, somebody get my baby off the field. They don't play. Football is serious. We had a mercy call at halftime because it was 62-0. Okay, it was got their ass.
But nonetheless, guys, Paige was the topic of the bus ride.
I was the topic of the bus ride because Vance was texting me, and I don't remember. Oh, I was telling him, listen, what's up with homecoming proposals nowadays? Why do they have to be so huge? I mean, some of them are bigger than wedding proposals. Sure. It's getting a little out of hand. I have so many projects that I have to, and posters I have to make already for school, let alone another one for homecoming proposals. And then they have to have music and bears and chocolates and flowers and blah, blah, blah. So I'm trying to help the guy. And I was like, everybody does the same thing. Why don't you burn her a CD of like y'all's love songs? I was like, and you can get her like some cute headphones and like a little radio she can listen to it on. Like, that's such a vibe, right? And he sent me back, my friends all call you the Wizard of Oz.
I about died because I'm like, because you're so cool. Like, they probably think you're so cool.
It's the best. It is absolutely the best. I will say,
so she has the Riz.
They embarrass me because if I go in public with them, they all introduce me as Positively Paige. My husband, my children, everyone will be like, have you met Positively Paige? And I'm like, stop.
But your username is so like friendly. Like, sometimes like we're like, who are you talking to? I'm like, Positively Paige. Because that's what people know you as first. At first, people were like, I didn't even know your name. Like, my name, because my name's not on my account unless you look for it.
Oh, yeah, I didn't. You were saved to my phone as them Hoffers for solid 2 months. I'm telling you.
But that is hilarious. So she's the Wizard of Oz, in case y'all were wondering.
In case you were wondering. Some people get my username mixed up. Did you know that the Positively Page, they're like, if I snap back at anybody, because God forbid I'm a human who doesn't like to be disrespected.
Yeah.
They're like, that's not very positive of you. And I'm like, I don't know who told you that I was going to be positive all the time. I mean, I'm positively myself. And sometimes she going to put you in your place. If you need it. Only if you need it. Only if you need it.
She be putting people in their place, you guys. I'm not even kidding you. I have stories for days on Paige. We done went to lunch.
Listen. This if we're gonna buckle up into this, let's just tell the whole story, okay?
Let's tell it.
We're eating lunch at a mall, first of all. We're at a mall.
During lunchtime.
We're at no fancy place during the weekday. And there is a round table behind us full of women that are older than I am, probably by double.
I'd say my mom's age.
Older. And they're enjoying lunch. The ends of their lunch.
They were done.
They were signing receipts when we walked in.
Yes.
We sat behind them. I have my 6-month-old daughter at the time. You had Fox, who was 8 months. 8 months. And our husbands, yes, me, you, and your mom. Mm-hmm. And Fox and Juliet are talking across the table at each other. You know how babies do. Little babies who don't know how to actually speak yet, right? Mm-hmm. And this woman, this crotchety old woman.
She's right here in front of me. So, like, I'm sitting here. She's literally so close to me. Ooh. She snaps back.
She turns around. She did one of these. Really?
She did.
And I said, really what? You've never heard a happy baby? Yeah. Do you want me to stand up? So fast.
We're at the end of the table, and Fox is right here next to me. And I said, they're having fun.
Hello? They're not even screaming.
We were so mad. So Paige is fuming.
I've never seen an old woman not enjoy sweet, happy baby sounds. I was shook.
They were happy.
Shook.
Like, if they were crying, we would have removed our babies from the situation.
Of course. I would comfort my child if she was crying. She's just sitting here talking. I'm sorry she's interrupting your conversation.
Yes.
But holy baloney. So her friends were embarrassed.
Yes, her friends were embarrassed. But Paige is fuming. So then we have to leave. You guys, this is what took it. This is what's an extra. So we're leaving, which I love because this is funny. We're leaving because we have to go change the baby's diapers. So me and Paige just go because we're going to change our baby's diapers. Yeah. And their friends are walking out. And I thought, okay, we're done. We're going to side-eye them, right?
I told y'all I was Puerto Rican, right?
This girl snaps off at the lady.
I didn't snap off. I just said, I hope you know that your friend was very rude. And I hope everyone at church knows that she's a hypocrite.
So that's what she says.
And I meant it, and I'd say it again. I hope everybody knows that you're judgmental towards little bitty babies. Who are you to turn around? I'm in the public. Literally. That's something that bothers me. Yes. That's something that actually pisses me off is when people upload those videos of babies crying and they're like angry in their seat. Oh, I just want to thump you right in the throat.
We're in public, ma'am.
Hell, it's the public. I get it though. I do get it. There's a factor that I understand. Like nobody wants to sit in a plane and be stuck with a crying baby. The mom doesn't want to be stuck with the crying baby. She's trying. She's doing her best. The baby doesn't understand what's going on. You're stuck in a tin can in the sky. Like, what are you going to do? What are we going to do here, George? Right. We're all doing our best. Why would you pull out your phone and video it? So that you can bitch and complain.
Because I've been that mom of a crying baby, and I'm
crying with that child.
I'm devastated in there.
I'm like doing everything that I can, and I know you're staring at me. Yeah. And I know that you're judging me, and I'm just trying to not interrupt you.
And I know it's loud. I know it's annoying to you, and I don't want it to happen.
No.
But we're also in the same space as you. I'm trying my best, and that's why when circumstances like the restaurant happened, I was in awe because I'm like, they're so happy. There were other children in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And
it was loud in there.
Like, oh my god, like
it's not like a fancy restaurant.
No.
It's not like we were sitting down for a candlelit dinner, y'all. We were at a restaurant, an Italian restaurant in a mall. Like, we weren't that bougie. So that goes all over me. I do understand, like, there's some airlines that want to move to adults only. Yeah. 100% for it. Yeah. Do it. Because I don't want somebody that's going to be rude and judgmental of my baby on the plane either.
Right.
So, you don't want to sit next to me, and I don't want to sit next to you.
The struggles of motherhood never end. And that's why we keep saying, like, we're just trying our best here.
Literally.
Because we're also learning to be a mom around people, and our children have to learn to be around people. Yes. And that's like the hard part when they're like, well, keep your kids quiet. Well, like, they have to learn to be around you guys at a restaurant too. But. Yeah.
And I think the moment you become a mom, you're expected to be extraordinary.
Oh yeah.
You have to be perfect. You have to be on. Your kids are perfect. You are perfect. You look together. Your body is right. Mm-hmm. You show up all the time. You don't get to have down days or you're a bad mom and people judge you. And I just think that's why so many moms are drowning in their mental health because they're so afraid of the judgment of everybody else on top of the pressure of being a good mom.
Absolutely.
It's already so hard all by yourself. Yeah. Like I am my worst enemy. Same. Whenever it comes to validating myself as to whether or not I'm doing a good enough job. I'm constantly worried. I don't need other people putting in their 2 cents on situations, frankly, that they don't fully understand. Yep. And they couldn't possibly. Yep. Because they're not walking in my shoes.
And I forget, like, sometimes parents forget they were in it. Like, people who sometimes they forget they're in it or they have, nieces and nephews. And like, that's really hard. But I think we're all trying our best. You're doing a good job.
You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. There's people back here in the studio, y'all.
This was excihasting.
That was a good episode.
I'm really excited that we got to share all of those things.
Yeah. That you're adopting. We have a new baby, y'all.
We do.
#boymom.
#Fox Boy.
Foxy boy. He's so beautiful. Y'all, he's so beautiful. As always, you guys,
keep the giggles going.
And the love flowing.
And until next time,
Mom knows best. Or at least she is trying her best.
That's the truth.
Bye, y'all. See you later.
Mom's the Word podcast is recorded at the Museum of Neon Lights in Frisco, Texas.
It is a selfie studio open to the public.
Mention the podcast and you'll get an exclusive 10% off.